so welcome back to my channel. Today I did a tutorial. It was requested that I use the Makeup Geek Chameleon Pigment in a tutorial. This Makeup Geek pigment is really beautiful. It's a beautiful kind of teal. It's more of like a true blue, but when you put it on, it looks teal, and it's because of the duochrome finish that it has. It's a teal with a kind of goldeny green undertone, or duochrome as they say. It's a really pretty color, and I do have a review on these. I did an honest review on them. My opinions still are the same. I believe I've mentioned that they sent me replacements because the ones that I ordered were all cracked and broken. So if you want to see more about that, I will link it down below. But I do suggest that you watch that video prior to ordering so that you know what you're getting yourself into. And then, because I've gotten a lot of new things that I will be sharing in a haul video coming soon, I wanted to incorporate the new NYX holiday palette. I think this is just for their holiday. It's the NYX Butt Naked Underneath It All. What a name, right? I haven't purchased any of the Butt Naked palettes. I think they've come out with one or two, if I'm not mistaken, palettes that look like this, or they have a similar setup. But I saw this one in a video from Emily Noel 83 on Beauty Broadcast here on YouTube, and she really liked this, so I figured why not give it a try. And the great thing is that this palette does have several mattes. There's 2, 4, 6, 7 mattes. Yeah, 7 mattes total in this whole palette, which is great because when you have a palette, you want to have a mixture of finishes, especially your transition shades and your crease colors. Those are the ones that need to be matte in a palette. So this definitely checks off all those boxes for me. And as if that wasn't enough, you have a good size mirror here. But then this opens up. Ta-da! You have 4 blushes and 3 humongous highlighters. I mean, come on. These highlighters will last forever. I used one of the blushes today, and I used some of the highlighters as well, so I will show you that. So I wanted to incorporate this palette with this pigment because I was going to just do a tutorial just on this, which I still may do that if I have time. So anyways, I hope that you guys will enjoy this tutorial, and if you want to see how to do it, then keep watching. Alright, so to start this look off, I'm taking the lightest shade in the palette. It's a matte, sort of creamy ivory color. It's kind of like my skin tone, maybe a little lighter. It is very pigmented though, so that's why it looks almost white, but it's like a beige. So I'm just going to apply that all over the lid. I've talked about this a million times. I do this in every video, but you know, apply a little bit all over the lid, all the way up to the brow prior to applying any other colors. I'm going to take that same shade mixed in with this cooler brown. I'm going to mix them both together, and I believe this is the, yes, Sigma E25 brush, and I'm just going to apply just a little bit of this into the crease as a transition to prevent me from coming up too high with that pigment that we're going to be using here in a minute. So just a little bit. We'll come back to the crease here in a little while. Moving on to the pigment, this is the Chameleon Pigment from Makeup Geek. It's part of the duochrome line. It's a really pretty color, and I'm going to be applying that with a Sonia Kashuk brush. I believe this is the number 106 if I'm not mistaken. And I'm going to take a little bit and kind of smush it into the brush using the cap and tapping off the excess. I think this is the best way to minimize the fallout. Unfortunately, with loose eyeshadows, pigments, whatever you want to call them, there will be some fallout. So just, that's, you know, a general thing. It's going to happen. That's why I didn't do my concealer under my eyes until afterwards. So anyways, I'm taking that pigment and applying it all over the lid, not going up too high or up into the crease. And because I have a little bit of a transition shade applied from earlier, I can see that line, and I know not to go past a certain point with this pigment because it's very sort of metallic as far as the finish is concerned. After I've applied the pigment, I'm taking this matte sort of brown. It's got like a mauve-y, plummy undertone with a pointed crease brush. This is by Zoeva, and I'm going to be applying this to my crease. And I used a pointed style crease brush for this step because I wanted it to be really precise. And I'm just going to be packing on a lot of this color. So it's going to look harsh for a little bit, but as you can see, I've tilted my head back a little bit as well so that I can see where my natural crease is, and also to prevent myself from touching too much of that green pigment, because if you do and you start blending, you're going to pull it up into the crease and it's just going to be a mess. So you could do this step first and then the pigment. Do whatever you want. This is just what works for me, but that pointed crease brush is so, so great. Wondering, that brush is the 231 Luxe Petite Crease by Zoeva. Love that brush, highly recommend it. And I'm going to be using that brush for most of the application of that color, but I'm also going to be bringing in another clean brush just to kind of blend and soften things as I go. And it's a clean E25. It's just a little bit fluffier. And I'm going to go around the edges because, again, this is all supposed to be very blended and not so much like having harsh lines, if that makes any sense. So just working back and forth. I did have to cut a lot of this out because I was here for a good minute softening out those edges and blending. Now that I've blended and I feel like my arm is about to fall off, I'm going to take that same shade with a pencil brush and I'm going to be applying this to the lower lash line, making sure that it's connecting up towards the crease as well, so that it's not like a little bit of a gap between my upper lid and my lower lash line. And I'm going to apply it pretty thick just because you guys know the drill. It's what I like, but you know, it's totally optional. Then I'm going to go in with that same lighter brown that's more of a cool tone brown, and I'm going to be applying it with the same brush right over that first color, and it's just going to create some depth and dimension, but you're also going to be able to sort of add some richness without making it too dark, if that makes any sense. And I'm going to take that same brush with that same cool brown and I'm going to add that to the outer V of the eye, and with a kind of weird motion, as you can see, I'm making sure that it connects from the outer V down to the lower lash line. So just apply as much or as little as you'd like. And more blending. I swear that's all I ever freaking do. Blend, blend, and blend. Like literally my hand felt like it was going to fall off. Anyways, moving on, taking the same pigment on a tiny little detail brush. I'm going to be applying that to the inner corner of the eye. I thought it would just look really cool to bring that color down just a little bit. You could skip the step, or you could do a different pigment, a different eyeshadow, a champagne, a beige color, whatever you wanted. You can even leave it matte on the inner corner. You don't have to do this step, but I just wanted to. Then I'm taking the same pigment and I'm dampening my brush with the Smashbox Primer Water, and I'm just going to lightly apply a thin layer over what I've already applied, and this is just going to intensify it just a little bit more. This is really not necessary. I just wanted to do it just because I don't know. So anyways, moving on, tight lining my upper lash line and my lower lash line. The Modster eyeliner by Ardency. You get them at Sephora, Sephora.com. Anyways, moving on to that cool brown, I'm going to take a little bit of that with a tiny brush and I'm going to smudge out that liner so there aren't any harsh lines and kind of blend it into the brown that I already applied previously. Then time for some liner using the Carbon Black Liner Intense by L'Oreal. It's a great liquid liner from the drugstore. And I'm just applying it kind of thick with a little bit of a wing because I felt a little sassy that day. You don't have to. Then this is the two mascaras that I chose for this look. And I've also decided to pair it up with some little trio lashes from Kiss. These are the Ever Easy lashes. Alright, moving on to the face. Taking this blush contouring duo thing from NYX. It came in a set, which I will talk about in another video. And this tiny little brush is also from a set from Sephora, the Sephora Favorites, which I will show you in a haul video soon. And I just applied the product, or the bronzer, with that brush, and then I'm going to blend it out just because it was a little harsh. Let's just be honest. Nobody does contour like that. So anyways, I blended it out. Then I took my e.l.f. complexion brush with the same bronzer and I decided to sort of bronze up my skin. I didn't actually save any sort of contouring powders in my little makeup stash because everything is packed up, so I'm just using what I got. But I would recommend using an actual contour powder for that step if you prefer. Then here are the blushes and highlights. I feel like you get a really good range of colors, so I'm going to go in with this soft peach. It's matte, with an angled blush brush from Morphe brushes, and I'm just going to be applying that. They're actually pretty pigmented. I'm impressed with this. I feel like the quality of these are just like the ones that you would get individually, so I'm really digging it. Good job, NYX. So I'm going to be highlighting with a shimmery kind of pearl color and then one that's a little bit more goldeny. I'm using a brush by e.l.f. Just highlighting the typical spots that I prefer to put my highlight, and as you can see, it has a really nice glow, and I'm impressed with it as well. Then I'm using the NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brûlée just to keep the look super easy because I didn't want to do lip liner, lipstick, lip gloss. I didn't want to do all that, and these butter glosses are so good, highly pigmented, and I do recommend them. Alright, so I hope that you guys enjoyed that tutorial. I really had fun doing this video for you guys. I really enjoy this pigment. I think it looks really cool. I like how when you turn your head certain angles with the light, it looks more blue and then it looks more of kind of like a greenish gold color. Really pretty, and I'm actually impressed with this one in particular. I have all of them in the range that came out, I think back in September, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I think at the end of September. And anyway, so like I said before in the video in the beginning, if you want to see the review, I will link it down below for you. But yeah, I will have everything listed down below, and let's just talk about the hair. I know you guys notice. I know. I cut my hair. I cut my hair. I was ready for a change, and you know they say, you know, women cut their hair when they're about to make a change. I'm about to move to the East Coast. I'm going from mountains to the East Coast. And I don't know, I just got the itch. I've been thinking about it for a few months. So I decided to go and just do something different. It's not too short. I mean, I had it, I would say maybe 2 to 3 inches were cut off, and then just very minimal layers. I had some long layers put in, just a little bit, not a lot, but it's just mostly kind of almost one, you know, blunt cut. So anyways, if you want to know more about my haircut, if you're curious, or about my hair color, whatever, I just did it last night, let me know and I can do a video. If I've got the time, I can do it. If not, once I get settled on the East Coast in my new house, then I will definitely talk to you guys about my haircut. So anyways, enough blabbling. I hope that you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up the video if you liked it, share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's @GlamourByLexi, and I also have a thing called Snapchat. So if you want to tune into my life off camera, that's the place to find me. So I will put all that info down below, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Alright, so I hope that you guys enjoyed that tutorial. I don't have a hair in my mouth.